there. I think that's everything. That's coming from the side. What is that? Hello? Who's there? No. No.
Hello and welcome to Late Night Live.
Fucking hell.
It is me. I have been sent in place of the transfer seagull, for you need the deepest transfer news from the bottom of the deep blue sea. Presenting myself, the Stretford Paddock. Welcome to the show.
Hello and welcome to Late Night Live. What a carnage. What? I don't even know what to say about that, except I'm joined tonight by the Stretford Paddock. Unbelievable scenes. He's usurped the seagull. He's here. Look at him. Because sometimes you need a bit more depth of information. The seagull recently has been, let's face it, letting us down. He told us we were going to be signing Bruno Fernandes. Did we sign Bruno Fernandes? No, we didn't sign Bruno Fernandes. So you know what? Sometimes I get sent something different. So tonight we've got the Stretford Paddock. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's just what happens. And it's Oscar season, so I'll put a nice filter on it. Do you know what I mean? Right, tonight we're going to be talking Islam Slimani. I can't even get over that. I've seen that 20 times and I still can't get over that. We are talking Islam Slimani. We are talking Odion Ighalo. We are talking CARLOS TEVEZ. What? First question, what on earth is going on? What do you mean Slimani, Ighalo and Tevez? These aren't players. They're all 50 years old and they're not that good. What's going on? Honestly, what is going on? I don't know. The Stretford Paddock is going to be giving me information on that because I just don't quite understand this one personally. What I want to know from you tonight. Honestly, that intro's finished me off. What I want to know from you tonight is, with Ed Woodward being in a job that, you know, let's say he's not qualified for, give me your strange sort of party trick or your strange talent or qualification that should give you a different job. Right, I'll give you an example if you're not quite sure what I mean. This is from the Patreon. He says that I own multiple failing businesses and a credit card, so I should own Manchester United. Maybe I shouldn't have read that. That one's from Hugh Janus. Again, shouldn't have read that. Didn't read that before I did it, but you get the gist. Give me, you know, what little party trick, what qualification, what job should you have based on your personality? That's all I'm asking you. Let's get into some news. Let's get into the news because it's a strange one today. Turn that off. That's done. Music off. Slap the fish. There you go. Slap the fish. Right, let's get into the news then because United are looking at Islam Slimani, who wasn't good enough for Leicester. I don't quite know what to tell you, boys. Let's just get into it. Right, let's bring this up. Laptop. There we go. Look at this. United report. They're quoting Sky. So this is, you know, say what you want about Sky. They used to be one of the more reliable. They were basically the BBC in terms of reliability. They were right up there with anyone. But recently they've kind of slipped off a little bit. They're getting the sources from a butcher here and there, some sort of swimming instructor. So it's hard to know always how reliable they are. But they are saying that United have looked at Odion Ighalo and Islam Slimani as they tried to sign a striker on loan. I honestly don't know what to say. Not because... How does that make us look? I'll tell you how it makes us look. This is Dan Irvin on Twitter. I don't know who that is. Sky Sports live on air confirming United are looking at Odion Ighalo, Islam Slimani. Ha, 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 ha. What the actual fuck is going on at that club? That's what people think of us. You'd think Ed Woodward and the rest of people, you know, the Glazers, everyone, would be trying to... Maybe Cavani sounds a bit like Slimani, and they just got the wrong one. I have no idea what's going on here. But let's try and be positive. I always try and be positive here. Have a beer. By the way, of course, Friday's show, sponsored by Cans, as always. Just get them out there. Let's try and be a little bit positive. Let's look at Islam Slimani's career goal stats. Because, you know, it's not all bad. Look at the state of that. 118 goals in 306 games, including 48 in 82 in Portugal, 32 in 97 in the League Professionnel 1. He got 8 goals in 39 appearances in the Premier League. He's currently on loan at Monaco. Is this really the sort of calibre of player we're looking at? I mean, I suppose people have been talking about Llorente and that kind of thing, but Slimani didn't really work out for Leicester. Ighalo looked good at Watford, but help me out here, guys. Help me out. What are we thinking? What are we thinking to these two? Someone said, people are still answering the previous question. We are buying scum off the floor, not top class players. Interested, done. United are done. Yeah, it's getting a bit scary, isn't it? It's easy to do transfers, just pay the money they ask for. That does seem pretty easy when you put it like that, when you frame it like that. Maybe we can feed those crap strikers to Luke Shaw, maybe. But we don't want him getting bigger. Maybe we do. Maybe he takes on their power as he eats them. Maybe that's what it is. An apple, what are you thinking? Don't know. Is Slim fat? No, I don't think he is, actually. I think he looks all right. Maybe they're all his targets at Cardiff. Maybe. That United family says Paddock has peaked. Thank you very much. Would Haddock have better fin-ishing? Very nice. Slimani's very good in the air. Right. Do you know what? That's nice. I'm glad that someone is complimenting Slimani. I'm glad that someone is maybe even slightly optimistic about a potential Slimani signing. He is very good in the air. Something United are lacking. Laurie Whitwell has come out today and said that United probably won't be signing Slimani, but does that mean that we were looking at him and we decided not to? Does that mean that we tried to get him and they said no? Surely not. Does that mean that the player said no? Surely not. That would be absolutely ridiculous, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? 4 million loan fee as well suggested with Slimani. And Ighalo, you know, he was decent at Watford for a little bit, but other than that, someone says here Slimani's a failed former Premier League striker, absolutely a waste of time. Yeah, it's a bit risky, innit? I'm not quite sure, really. Haaland, 5 goals in 2 games, thanks Ed. Yeah, that was the kind of striker we were going for a couple of weeks ago. Now it's Islam Slimani. I'm not entirely sure. We'll come back to this though, because I think there's a good bit to talk about with Slimani. We'll talk a little bit about his Leicester days very soon. But you know what? For now, let's move on to something a bit more. We've got to give you the update on Bruno Fernandes. The update is there is really no update. This is Ebola, which might as well be Ebola at this point. It's just making me sick reading all this. Sporting and MUFC spoke by phone yesterday and will continue discussions today. Man United are waiting on Sporting's response to their recent 55 plus 10 million offer for Bruno Fernandes. It's been a tough week, hasn't it? It's been a really tough week. We've got Tranmere at the weekend. If we don't beat Tranmere, I don't even know what to say if we don't beat Tranmere. Can we even be excited about Bruno Fernandes anymore? That was meant to be done. That's why I get him here. He comes in, gives me Islam Slimani and Ighalo news. That's not what we wanted. I wanted you to tell me that the Fernandes deal was done. Absolutely ridiculous. As I was saying before, Slimani's got a decent Premier League record. You're not seeing it there, but a decent goal scoring record. At Sporting Lisbon, it was fantastic. Or Benfica, maybe, my mistake. But it's just. Honestly. Right, let's move on to something more exciting, because this is ridiculous. Man breaks own record for sitting in a barrel at the top of a pole. This man is hiding from something. Vernon Kruger has been in a barrel. Has been in. I like he's still there, but we'll write the article anyway. Vernon Kruger has been in a barrel on the top of a pole for more than 2 months. Where does the poo go? Breaking the record he set in 1997. It's taken him 23 years to build up the courage to sit in a barrel again. South African man has beaten the world record for longest time sat in a barrel at the top of a pole. Unbelievable. He must be child support he's dodging, or a meeting at work, or something, because that is absolutely ridiculous. It's like David Blaine, but even less impressive. Also, how tall is the pole? 80 feet in the air. Look at that. Look at him. For fuck's sake. Next, airline sorry for forcing passenger to take pregnancy test before flight to Saipan. They say it's because people try to have their kids born in other countries for visa reasons. I think they just want to charge another plane ticket. If you're pregnant, you're paying for 2 tickets. 2 people on the plane, 2 tickets, please. I won't be surprised. I don't know what the other airline is, but we've all been there. 8 quid for luggage, 50 quid for that. It's like $6.50 for like a little pasty when you go on Ryanair. A pasty. Anyway. Fuck me. Everyone, right, come on. Come on, lads. It's Friday night. What we got here? I want to call him Woodcock. Slimani was linked to Newcastle a while ago. White punks on dope. I don't know what that means. Tough times for United with this useless board. Glazers out, Woodward out. There has been a lot of that this week, hasn't there? Like I said, it's not a good week. I stopped looking for a second and we're looking at polls. Yes, because we're looking at the news in general. We like to concentrate on Man United, but we want to see what is going on in the wider world. What we got here? Oh wait, he was actually at Newcastle. He was at Newcastle. Tough times for United. Yeah, we've said that one already. Announced Shaw's BMI. I don't think we're ever going to get that. That is one thing we will never see announced by the club. Lost it at Stretford Paddock, to be honest. Yeah, I don't make the rules. These come in, these come out. Have you named the Haddock Bruno or Ed? We haven't named the Haddock. I don't get told the name. He comes to me, the agency send him to me. The transfer seagull's probably losing his mind right now, let's be honest. He's very good in Monaco. He was a creative playmaker as well. Okay, good. I like a bit of optimism. Let me know in the comments as well if you're having a drink. It's Friday night, innit? It's Friday night. Do you know what? Every time I come on here, I want to play this. Not that. This. But I never get to because United never actually sign anyone. It's absolutely unbelievable. What are you drinking? Joey's Rising Star. Thank you. That sounds like a Chinese restaurant, and I'd eat there. ZX United, I'd love it. Hello from Canada. Hello, Lemon. Announce Bruno. Bruno. I don't know what you want me to announce. Slimani is linked to Spurs and PSG. He's probably being linked to everyone. Wolves is going to be my first United game at Old Trafford, and now we are leaving early. Pretty ironic, really. Oh, yeah, that's a good point, actually. Well worth mentioning. There has been a planned walkout at Old Trafford for the Wolves game. So if you're going to that game, make sure you check that out. If you want to be involved, be involved. If you don't. Up to you. Any way to get on the Patreon group? Yes, you have to sign up. You have to subscribe to Stephen's Patreon. It's not my Patreon, but you know I like to chat with those guys. They're very nice. I get some comments from them actually talking about what job you should have based on your party trick, based on your hidden talent. What we got here? I could probably be a good metal worker because I can generate quite a bit of power in my right arm. Very nice. Not sure where the powers come from, but very good. A. Newson says, the smell of my farts is quite nice, so would probably make a good perfumist. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Everyone likes the smell of their own farts, and I think that's a good thing. TC says, Joe, are you the Messiah or a very naughty boy? R.I.P. of course. R.I.P. I've lied and broken promises loads, so I think I'd make a good Tory MP. Ooh, satire and politics, that one. 2 in 1. We don't usually talk politics on here, but I thought it was quite interesting. Alright, I once built a 13 plus Lego set, so I think I could be in charge of building Ashley Young's statue. Someone's got to do it. He's a club legend. I can't read that one. That one is absolutely filthy. I could be a public speaker because I stutter and curse like a fishmonger's wife. I don't think that's exactly what it takes to be a public speaker. Anyway, I have a cavernous belly button, would make a great pen holder. That's exactly what I want to see. Cut to a shot of you laid on some like executive for a Fortune 500 company's desk with just loads of pens sticking out your belly. You've been painted wood effect, so you blend in with the rest of the desk, and he's just using your belly as an inkwell and your belly is a pen holder and your mouth is an inkwell. Very nice. Someone made a Twitter account for the Haddock. You guys out there, honestly. Actually, let's put this on here because there's another great picture that someone made on Twitter earlier. Actually, not that. Oh, for God's sake, why is that one still on there? I should have took that one out. Is your fish okay? He's fine. There you go. Look, brilliant. You know who you are. Would you rather A, a flying fish, B, a bird, or 3, Jesse Lingard on the end of a cross? I don't know. And speaking of crosses, I don't like talking about crosses, bad memories. Put him in charge of rebuilding Old Trafford. What, the fish? He could do that. I'm sure he could do that. Mate, I watch Stephen's 5 Things because I walk away feeling optimistic, like, yeah, we finally learned something. But how does nobody running the club learn anything? It beats me, mate. Honestly, the worst thing is for me. Obviously, it's sad and it's bad how bad United are at the minute. But it's just the ridicule, isn't it? You can't look anywhere. You can't turn anywhere. You can't go on social media. You can't chat to your mates. We're always the one that's getting the piss taken out of us. Don't like it. Really don't like it. Stretford Paddock versus Transfer Seagull, tables, ladders and chairs match. I'd pay to see that. I would pay a pay-per-view fee to see that. Scottish Taco says this is too good to be free. It's not free. I have sent a bill to your house, so please send that back in 30 days. Otherwise, it will double, and then it will double again, and so forth and so forth. So weird that United is where they are, and people like Ferguson don't speak out. He's employed by the club, and I think as well. It's a difficult one with Ferguson, isn't it? Because I think of all the people, he's the one person that probably could come out and say something and not be, sacked by the club or that kind of thing. But I just think it's a difficult situation where I don't think him saying something will make the Glazers leave, and it might just cause a horrible, strange rift in the club that really is kind of something that none of us want to see. I don't want it to get that ugly. Joe, I like the holiday snaps, mate. Thank you very much. I went to Burnley last week. I told you about that, but I've added a couple more in there because I like to keep it updated. House review really got me so much passion. It's all about passion here at Stretford Paddock. Passion, poisson as well, which is French for fish, so I speak multiple languages. Housen's haddock. No, it's Stretford haddock. It's the Stretford haddock. But it's also Housen's haddock, I suppose. 300 watching and under 100 like. Come on, people. Joe's trying his best. I like that. That was a very sort of teachery way of saying what is going on. Joe's trying his best. Can we pull off the upset against Tranmere? I think we can. I'm going for a 1-1 draw in the first leg and then a 1-1 draw in the second leg, followed by 20 or so penalties each, with United coming out on top at the end, and I will take that. Can I get a shout out? Duncan... I almost said it there. If you're in the comments, read the absolute filth that man's YouTube name is, and you'll be glad that I didn't give him a shout out. Duncan, you ought to be a bloody shame of yourself, mate. I see you, you're typing it again. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, Duncan. And Mrs. McCockiner, I bet she's very disappointed with you as well. Because you are a rascal and a mischief maker at best, Duncan. Absolutely disgraceful. Sorry you had to go to Burnley. I enjoyed it. Yeah, but what has Fergie got to lose at this stage? Good point. I don't think he's going to lose any sort of respect from the fans or anything. He's on another sort of Mount Olympus altogether compared to everyone else on Earth, isn't he? So I hope you're wearing jeans, completing the Canadian tuxedo. I'm wearing black jeans. Is that still a Canadian tuxedo? I'm not sure. New jacket tonight, by the way. Is it still a denim jacket like always? Yes, of course. Right. Before we go, let's get one last roundup. Manchester United have, in theory, supposedly been targeting Islam Slimani and Odion Ighalo as 2 world-class, blockbuster signings to replace, I suppose, Romelu Lukaku. That doesn't feel right to say, does it? Potentially on loan, we're looking at a £4 million loan fee for Leicester for Ighalo. For Slimani, and Ighalo, I believe, would have just been coming in on loan. Of course, other people's fans ridiculing us there you go. But that is the main story tonight. And also our second story, just because we have to keep up with Bruno Fernandes news. The latest, and this is from Ebola, as we said before. Apparently, United and Sporting spoke by phone yesterday, and will continue discussions today. United are waiting on Sporting's response to their recent 55 million plus 10 million offer for Bruno Fernandes, which, according to all reports and rumours, should be enough to get it over the line. That's what they've been asking for, isn't it? Until the goalposts change again, because we write one story and then it doesn't come true, so we have to pretend that we were never right in the first place. Absolute nonsense. All of it is absolute nonsense. Thank you very much for joining me at home. You know what? Have a great weekend, everyone. We're going to be back for, of course, all the build-up to the Tranmere game on Tuesday. We've also got Anthony Cruller, boxing world champions, my Manchester United, coming out tomorrow. What an absolute festival of delights. Bring whoever you want in. Situation will be the same. Negative football, no direction, sapping everyone of everything. I thought that was going to be a positive comment, but it wasn't. You know what? That's not my fault. Sometimes you read a comment. Shoaib Mohammed says, Ebola? No, Ebola. Right. Have a good weekend, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you very much for joining me. The Haddock is an absolute disgrace and he's brought us nothing but terrible transfers today. See you in a bit.